Okay, hello everyone. Good evening once again. Hope we are all going well, coping with the stress. I'm sure most of us would have been rounding up with exams too. Okay, so today we'll be talking about on HTML. Actually, I want to join with my system so that I can display my slides. So for now, I'll just be asking what you guys can remember because I'm actually continuing. If you're here the last session, you know that Chibuzo actually started the first HTML session. So I'm continuing. So I want you guys to drop in the comments what you can actually recall from what Chibuzo taught about HTML, because that's what is going to help us to really enter this next part easily. So that I don't want it to be like any confusion or hitch. What do you recall? What can you remember that he taught? What was a key point that you still remember? And just drop it in the comments so I can see. Okay, someone talked about putting descriptive text in images. Okay, that's good because we're going to even be continuing from images. So it's really nice that you're able to get that. I'll be expatiating more. Okay, we learned about the HTML skeleton. That is head, body, paragraph, and some HTML elements. It's good that we practice because one thing about programming that everyone should know in their head is that if you don't practice, especially in these early stages, if you don't practice, it will be bulky. And the more you practice, the more it actually enters and becomes more familiar. Especially for people that are just beginning, you have to practice, practice, practice. Just make sure that even if it's okay, 30 minutes a day. Okay, you're not doing any serious thing, but you are practicing, you are trying to explore, you are trying because we will not like come and teach everything in detail. Even us, we don't know every single thing in detail because there are different syntaxes, different updates to these programming languages, they keep on coming. So just try to stay up to date. Try to keep on practicing, try to make sure that no matter what, your hand is touching code because that's what will help you to get stronger. You don't even have to have okay one kind of solid background or your family people are programmers. If you just keep on practicing, you get better. So that's something you should know. So yeah, I'm connecting with my system now. Still drop what you learned. I'm seeing it. Okay, someone said he learned about attributes and elements, different tags, how to add image. Okay, it's good that everyone mentioned image. That's not our first thing. Today we'll be talking about images, links, and tables. So it's going to be really interesting. I will show you exactly like okay, this is how to do it and the benefits of actually putting images. Because imagine you go to a website and there's no image at all and everywhere just word, text, 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 text. It'll just be like so bulky. Sorry for the delay. I'll be up soon. Learned how to add image with your own further learning. I learned how to add padding. Oh, that's really good because now you're entering more into CSS now. How to add padding, changing the text color. So I would love for us to explore. I feel like the best way you can actually enjoy this is by being an explorer. If I come and tell you, okay, to add a image, you do this, and you that's the only thing you know, you not even try to explore and see, okay, is there any other thing I can do with the image? Then I'm sorry, I don't think you are really going to go far. Because if you want to really be successful and have a solid ground, you have to be an explorer. You just have to explore. You can't only collect what I tell you. And you should be willing to challenge. Like, okay, if you explored somewhere and you saw that, oh, what I'm saying is different, be willing to challenge. Don't just accept what they are telling you, because you have to just know how to explore. And it would even help not only in your when you start working with more complex code, you are trying to write algorithms, you are trying to think, you have to be able to explore, to search for answers, to be able to even explore your own code too. So it's really important that we all explore. Say we must nest our image tag inside figure tag. No, it's not necessary, but I don't get what you mean by figure tag though. But it's not necessary. Okay, I'm joining my laptop now. So you guys tell me if you can see my screen. Okay, let me check again. I'm coming. Okay, I think there are some network issues. Just give me 2 minutes. Sorry, honestly. It won't be like this next time. Like, I can explain. Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me? Okay.
Yes, we
Yeah.
can. We can hear you.
Okay, okay. Anyone that is not hearing me should check their
Yeah, we can
network.
hear you.
Maybe there's some issues. I'm trying to join, but like I'm having network issues. My screen. You guys tell me if if you see my screen. Can you see my screen? God. Can anyone see my screen? Okay, thank God. Because this is so hectic.
Yes.
I'm sorry for the unnecessary delay. Let's get to it. So yeah. Thankfully Chibuzo had like already touched images to an extent. So that won't really be foreign for us. So this is the second day of going inside HTML. We divided this HTML class into 4 parts. So this is the second part. So let's go. My name is Victoria, as you know. You can also call me Soluchi. I don't know, some people might know me as Soluchi, but my name is Victoria. I'm a backend web developer. I'm a student of electronic and computer engineering in UNN. This is my stack. Let's move because I've wasted a lot of time. So today we're going to be talking on images, links, and tables. I feel like everyone should be familiar with this thing somehow. In no matter what, you have come across a website that has images, links, and tables. Those are essential. Even if not table, but at least images and links. Hope everyone can hear me. Someone's mic is on. Please, can you mute your mic? Okay. So, can you guys hear me? I would ask about getting the slides. I would ask if it can be accessible to you guys. But you guys can hear me. So today we're talking about images, links, and tables. So these are very essential parts that you should know when working with HTML. So let's go. Images in HTML. Can you wait? Can you see the next slide? I put images in HTML. Anyways, let me just be talking. So images help your website look better. Okay, I don't know why it's not. Let's go. Sorry, okay, I think it's showing now. Yes. So we have images in HTML. Images help your website look better. As I said, they help to give visuals on what your website is all about. Let's say you are building a portfolio website and you talk, okay, and nobody's seeing your face. You have to see an image. Or you are building an e-commerce site. They have to be images, visuals on, so that it will be like helping the user to see what your website is all about. So let's dive in on how we can maximize its effect of images on our site. Sometimes it only takes one image to tell a story. Nobody's saying you should pack your website with images because it can even look bulky. But like at least there should be very quality good images in your websites that are able to tell the story of what you are trying to push, what you are trying to sell, the purpose of your website. Now, for this image, now this is an example code. Oh, it's not showing. You guys can't see the next slide of where I put the code, right? Anyways, let me just be talking. It's probably up here. So for let's say this image now of a girl smiling now, how you can impute that image. Okay, it's showing now. How you can impute that image is image source image underscore girl. Maybe you save the image as image underscore girl or whatever you want to save it as, honestly, and then you put it in the same file directory as your HTML file. And you want to now call that image, because images is kind of like this image tag is kind of embedding the image, is embedding the image in your HTML file. So you're saying that it should put the image there. So where is the location of the image? It should go to image underscore girl.jpg. But in a case where the image doesn't show, it should write girl smiling. We'll still look at it anyways. So yeah, how did we do that? As I just explained, here HTML tag image is used to embed images into web page. So it's like I'm trying to put an image and I'm calling that this is where it should come from. So the image tag does not have a closing tag. I don't know, people almost have emphasized on tags that have opening and closing tags, like maybe H1, P, all those ones have opening and closing, but image doesn't have a closing tag. Once you just write image and you put your source and your alternate text, that's all. You don't have to like put an opening and closing tag as you saw in the previous example. So each attributes are this source. Source specifies the path to the image. Where do you want your HTML file to locate that image? And alt is the alternate text for that image. So the required source attributes specifies the path to the image or the URL. That is where your web page should look for the image. Make sure that image actually stays in the same spot in relation to the web page. Otherwise, your visitors will get a broken link icon. The broken link icon and the alt text are shown if the browser cannot find the image. So it's just like if you go and maybe you put that it should locate your image in the same place where your HTML file is, and you go and move the image, it won't locate it, because one thing about programs is that it will do exactly what you tell it to do. It doesn't have any artificial intelligence, or it doesn't have any superficial mind to be like, oh, chai, Norma made a mistake, or Peter made a mistake, let me just correct it. No, exactly what you tell it to do is what to do. That's why sometimes you can be frustrated. Maybe you write a long block of code and then maybe you now made one mistake somewhere, or you didn't like close it well, and then it shows you error. You now be like, this code safe, can't you just, no, it won't work until you correct that error. So if you go and move your image from a place you was to another place, and then what is still in your image tag is that previous source, it will not show. So it will just show the alt text in the case where you put alt text. So the value of the alt attribute should describe the image. It's a very good practice that you put the value of the alt attribute to describe the image. Why? Because it helps for people that can't, there are some people that can't actually see the image. So if they are using like readers or all these things that can read text, it would read that alt text, you get. And in case of slow connection or anything, it can also help to tell the user, okay, this is what this image is about, don't worry, maybe the image is still loading, but this is what the image is about, that kind of thing. So I'll also still tell you another very nice advantage of actually putting a very efficient alt text in your image. So I'll tell you that. Now, still on images, you can use the style attributes to specify the width and height of an image. So in styling now, we have inline, we have internal, and we have external CSS. But that is, I don't want to make everything bulky for us. So we're just going to work with inline CSS. So inline CSS is when you use this style attributes in your HTML tags. So in this case now, we have an image tag and we're using we put our source, we put our alt, then we put style. That the style, it should make the width 500 pixels and height 600 pixels. You can even say, okay, the border should be this wide, or you get however you want to style it. It should change according to the styling you give it to it. As I said earlier, exactly what you tell it to do is what it should do. So you can just write your image and style it if you want, maybe to make it more suitable for how you want your website to look. It's all your choice. Power is in your hands. If you have images in a subfolder, you must include the name in the source attribute. This is another point, because where you have images in, maybe you put your images in an images folder, maybe you are the kind of person that wants everything to be arranged, you put your images in the images folder and your HTML5 is in that folder. Or let's say, I'll still show you guys, but let's say like you have a folder for your code and everything, and inside that folder your HTML files are there, but then there's also an images folder inside that folder with your images. So you have to make sure that you put this images slash this. So you are trying to make it know that the image is not exactly in the same location with your HTML file. It has to first of all enter an images file before it will see your image. If not, if you don't put, this is very important, because if you don't put the right directory, it will not show. As I said earlier, whatever you put is exactly what is going to run. So if you don't put the right directory, it will not show. It will look in that directory you are putting and it will not see anything and it will not show. So you have to make sure you put the right directory, and you have to be able to understand how to actually put the directory, like how to write the directory that you want your image to look into. You get, because there are some ways sometimes you can classify different things and you want to make sure you get the exact directory. So you put your alt and you style it. Then to put an image on another server, you must specify the absolute URL. So in this case now, you can also get, maybe I got image from W3 schools or something, and I just copied that image link and I can put it here as the source and to still show. You get, so you can get it as a local image in your your project, or you can get maybe an image that's already been hosted somewhere and you just put it there and then to still show. So let's go on. Did you know an interesting fact about images in HTML is that the alt attribute is actually a crucial element for image accessibility and SEO, search engine optimization. Now, I'm not trying to confuse anyone or make everything seem hard, but when you Google something now, maybe you're a girl, you're looking for one thing, maybe you want to say red shoe, or there's this particular image you are looking for, you want to get, you understand something, like let's say I'm a girl and I want to make I'm like, oh, girl on red braids or something. I'll search that and I'll see a bunch of images. How do you think the images are coming up? It's not like the thing is it's reading the alt text. So the alt text is actually very useful to help your images to appear when someone searches something related to that. That's why alt text has to be very descriptive. if you don't describe it well, it will, if you just go and put one random thing, you have to make sure you utilize and maximize that alt text feature, because that's what will help. Say if your image is girl smiling on red braids and red gown, write it so that if someone is searching that, even if they search red gown or something, your image appears, and if possible they click on your image and go to your website, thereby driving traffic and helping people to actually view your website. That's a very important tool for SEO. Search engine optimization is just the act of making your website more available when people search on Google. Let me say in simpler words, when I search on Google, I can be able to see your website, that kind of thing. Because there are sometimes you host websites, somebody will search on Google, they will not see. In fact, they will search exactly, they will not see it because your SEO is trash, like you didn't do it well. So everything is not even working. They will search, they will not see it, they will go down, they will not see it. But someone that has a very good, like, person really optimizes it very well. Once I search maybe one small keyword, I will just see it, you get. So alt text is something we can use. So as I said, from an SEO perspective, search engines rely on alternative text to understand the content of images, since they cannot see images directly. So yes, it's a good example attribute for not only web accessibility but also SEO. So yeah, and you are helping to promote inclusivity for people that cannot visibly see, or people that have maybe visual impairment. They can be able to use their screen reader to know what your image is about. So from here, I'm going to pause first, and you guys drop in the comments what you have gained over, like, okay, what you understand so far. I need 5 people to drop in the comment what they understand so far, so that I can know that yes, people are really hearing. Someone raised their hand, have a question. Okay, Udochukwu, please say your question, if it's a question or contribution.
Okay, good evening, Victoria. Victoria. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, I can hear you. Okay, okay. I'm really following up in the class on images. So now I want to ask something, but it's not like it's related to web dev, but it's not related to like this class. But I was trying something out today. Like I was trying to host a site on Netlify, but I discovered that it was too slow. It didn't deploy as I wanted it to deploy. It wasn't as fast as I expected it. Like what could be making it that slow? I wanted to deploy something. I was trying something out. So I switched to Vessel. Like I switched to Vessel to deploy it, but then it wasn't as fast as it was slow. I don't know whether it's network and I connected my phone hotspot to my system and I was getting messages. But I don't know why. I don't know if you have experienced that kind of issue before. So I would like you to like share. I don't know, like to answer. I don't know. That's the question. No? That's the question I have.
Okay, it's not really related, and I shouldn't be answering, but I'll just answer for the purpose of also curiosity and learning new things. There are different reasons why your website is slow and it's not loading as fast as you want it to. It could be maybe network. It could be that there you are writing a lot of code. There are a lot of unnecessary things. You are repeating a lot of code. You are writing a lot of code. Like, gone are the days when it is the person that has 1,000 blocks of code. If you can write 15 lines of code and it is doing what you want it to do, make sure write it like that. Try to minimize your code. Whatever is not necessary, don't put it. And also your images too, because that's also kind of related. You can try to put your images on lazy load. There's an attribute, I think it's load or so. If you make it lazy, what it does is that if your image is so bulky and maybe so big and maybe it's all these high quality images and it take time to load, and maybe it's making your website load slower, you can put it on lazy so that all other contents of your website loads, then your image starts loading gradually. You get, so that way it's helping to save time. So maybe someone sees that, oh, this image is still loading, they can just go and read the main content and maybe come back to the image when it's already loaded. You get. Then what else causes slow website? I think those are too many. Like, try to minimize your code. Yeah, try to reduce the amount of requests you are sending. Just try to make sure everything is optimized, and it's not about writing a lot of code and make all this. No, if something is not necessary, don't put it. Yeah, that's it. And
That's
try
it.
to stay
And try
up
to
to
stay
date
up
with
to date.
Stay up to date with like latest features on the language you are using to code that website.
Sorry,
There
one
can
last
be a
thing.
latest feature that is more useful, sorry, more useful to be able to make your website faster. You get something that maybe even help you to optimize, like maybe you are writing 3 lines of code for one feature and then they have made an update on that language itself that you can just use one particular method or something and to just do that feature. So try to stay up to date and get like more optimizable ways you can do something. You don't have to write long blocks of code. That's just it. So is there any other question like relating to images? I think I'll check the chat and see what people are saying.
Yes, sorry, please. I have a question relating to images. Good evening.
Okay.
My question is, must we nest our image tag inside figure tag? Like from what we were taught last time, we were asked to nest our image tag inside the figure tag, then comes with the fig caption. So I want to know whether it's a must that we must nest the image tag inside the figure tag.
I don't It's not a must. It's not really a must like okay, you must nest it inside figure tag if not. No, it's not a must. But I think maybe it can be useful to maybe help it look more arranged than I, but it's not like a must that okay, oh, if you don't nest your image, it's not an image. No, it's not really a must. But you can research more on that. So it's just maybe helping to align because most of all this what's even that word they call it semantic HTML elements. They are used to help to arrange your, we'll still get into that though, but they are used to help to arrange your HTML, like make it okay. I can put header, there's a header element, there's section element. So those elements are helping to kind of arrange it so that if even someone is looking at your code outside, okay, this is the section, this is the header, and it's helping the browser to know that this is what this particular part is about. You get? So it's not like it's a must that if you don't put it, your image not an image, but it can be useful. You can be able to use it for your favor and know how to really use it and make your website look better. Yeah. Okay, someone asked, please, what is actually the problem when your downloaded image is not showing up when you try to link it with your HTML web page? So you see that you're trying to link it with your HTML web page, not showing. As I said, check, are you putting the right image directory? It can be that you have moved your image or you don't even know how to locate that image directory very well. And then it's just going to another place. Meanwhile, your image in another place and then everything is clashing. You get? So you have to make sure that you are going to the right image directory. You have to make sure you are using the right syntax too. There could be different causes of that error. It depends on the context. Okay, so I don't know. Do you guys want us to practicalize on this or should we just go to links? Drop your yes, we should practicalize or we should go to links. Okay, practical. Okay, so let me open my VS Code. If anyone has any ideas, maybe we could try linking a HTML, maybe an image to HTML this and I'll just show you exactly what I mean. So yeah, let's practicalize it. So yeah, as I said earlier, everything is. I'm even happy people said practical. If you guys didn't say practicalizing, I would have been angry. After all my talk, you guys still want to just learn theory. Anything you are learning, practicalize it. Even if it might seem like stress, like I understand. If you practicalize it, you will know, can I really do it? Because it's one thing to know how to do it, and it's another thing to actually implement it. You get? So make sure that you don't fail to actually practicalize all these things. Okay. I would create a folder maybe for this HTML for the HTML classes we are having. I'll create a folder and then we'll try to work on something so that I'm talking, you guys will be seeing it too. Hope we are like following you. If anyone is lost, make sure you say something before we go too far. We can't go back. Yeah. I'm trying to or let me even share the whole screen so that everyone will see that part. Okay, can you guys see my screen? Soon come up. So I think we can see who cannot still see it. So I'm trying to create a folder now on my desktop for blockchain so that we can always come back to this folder. And I'd advise you guys to do it, like try to organize your things from now. Trust me, you won't regret it. Like try to organize your code, even if you are practicing, maybe you can have like a practice folder. And if you eventually decide, oh, you want to build a project, try to organize it. It's very good practice. So actually, even if it's not code, I try to just organize your files honestly. So I believe everyone should be seeing the screen now though. So everyone knows how to create a HTML file, but let me do it again. This is a file. I save it. They tell me where do I want to save it. I say I want to save it in desktop in my file, my folder now. Let's say image practice or practice day one. I don't know. Let me look for something else. Practice one. .html and I save. So we have our HTML listing. I will now proceed to get my skeleton. My title is used for putting the title of your document. So let's say I want the title of this one to be day one practice. I don't know. Even though this is not day one, but you get my first day. So this is our body now, and I don't want so much stress. I just want to put the image. So let me put maybe a H2 tag saying image. The image. So I'll come here now and put my image. We don't need this source set for now. We just need source. So depending on, let me look for an image now, safe to even give you guys so that we can Well, let me try to download an image. Let's download any image, honestly. Maybe girl smiling. So now, hey, you guys notice that I said girl smiling and see multiple girls smiling. Now, imagine someone uploaded an image of a girl smiling and the person didn't put all text of to be girl smiling. How do you want it to come up? You have to make sure, like now you're even seeing black woman smiling. Woman, make sure you are describing. It's like a wall. It's a wall. We want our image to show. We want our website to be visible. We want it to be. We want people to know. We want our website to be visible. Take it like that. Don't be nonchalant with the way you name with your titles. No, make sure you are is a wall. It's a wall if possible. I want it to be visible. You get. Don't say okay now. Oh, I would have renamed that thing. Let me rename it. Anyways, let's look for another image so that it will be two. Let's look for another image. Let me say girl one. And this is girl two. So that I want to show you guys something. We'll use two images now. Girl one and girl two. Girl two. So I think we're okay for now. Let's move. So let's say in this case now we have girl one and girl two in the same directory with the practice HTML, right? You guys saw it. Now we now say okay, oh, my image source, I want it to be girl one. You are even seeing girl one there, sir. But that's like a suggestion, but girl one because it's in the same directory. And I want my alt text to be, maybe I want it to be black girl smiling. But I think the first one was a black girl smiling. So I want it to be black girl smiling. Now let's open this in our browser. How to open in the browser, but let me still show you. Basically put the distance. In this case now, what I will even do, I will just come here and copy this thing because as a programmer, I have to try to minimize your energy because you are using a lot of energy to think. So if it's an easy way to get it done, get it done. Get it done. So can you guys see? Can you guys see? If you can see, comment or say something. Let me know if I'm even saying it.
We can see, we can see.
Yeah. So see, I put the image and this is the girl smiling. And if you want us to inspect this code now, you see that all text is there. Or if there's a reader, let's say for some reason this thing didn't show. Let's say okay, I went to go and make mistake. I didn't name it well. Let's say something like that, and it didn't show. You see, what will be the alt text? Black girl smiling. So for any reason this thing doesn't show, maybe your website is loading slow, whatever, this is what will show. And it's going to be helpful for someone to know, okay, this is exactly what it is, and person moves on. But let's undo that. Now, let's go to the second scenario where maybe I create a folder. We're going to do maybe 2 or 3 different scenarios. Yeah, I create a folder and maybe I'm an organized person. I want all my images to be somewhere. So I go and move maybe this girl too to this images folder now. And I want these images now. This girl too to be. I want this girl too to be in my this thing. I want this girl too to also appear. But I can't write girl too. It won't show. Let me write white girl smiling. This one is there. So yeah, I should be following. If there's anywhere you hook, tell me. You see, it didn't show. Why? Because girl 2 is not in the same file directory. Girl 2 is inside images. I'm with my coconut head. I went to go and put girl 2 as far as in the same this thing. The reason why girl 1 works is because girl 1 is in the same directory with HTML. I guys think girl 1 and this thing are in the same place. But girl 2 is inside images. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to come here in front of this place and say you should go to images first. Once you now enter images, then hey, you can now go and locate that girl 2. Because exactly what you write for the computer is what it's going to do. Your computer will not say, okay, oh, child, person made a mistake. Let me go and no. Exactly what you write. So now you see that it's now showing. It's now showing now. Because I put it exactly how it is. Now, I'm going to do one more scenario so that this won't get too complicated for us. As you continue to explore, you will see more scenarios. Don't worry, nobody will tell you. You will see. But let's do one more scenario now. Let's say that this girl, I say girl 1 now, is actually outside of this folder. Let me copy it and paste it outside. So it's outside of blockchain folder now. Girl 1 is here. As always, it won't show. Why won't it show? Because it's not in the same thing. So what can we now do to make girl 1 show? It's outside. What we have to do is we have to tell it to first of all come outside of blockchain folder. Then it will now see the girl 1. And what you can do is now saying dot slash this. So it's like you're saying it should come outside and do. I think this is what you should do, sir. Let's try. Yeah. Can you see? Because what I told you to do is that I said come out from blockchain folder. This dot is like saying come out first. Leave that blockchain first. And then when you now leave that blockchain, you see girl 1 inside. Because girl 1 is outside of the blockchain folder. See blockchain folder, yes, see girl 1. I'm telling you to come out first, then you to see the blockchain for the girl 1. So yeah, those are the different ways we can, do this. Is that it's in the same folder, it is in a folder inside that folder, or it is outside the folder. So the main thing is make sure that you are doing your directory, if not, it won't show well. So I believe everyone should understand images at this point. Like if they say do and show an image in your website, you shouldn't be shaking as long as it's not that complicated. Okay, if you want to style, you can style it. Let's say I want to style this girl 1 now. Let me say style. I say height should be, what should be height? Maybe 250 pixels. Width should be like a 100 pixels. I don't know. You can just style according to. Don't worry. When we do CSS, once you guys do CSS, I'm not teaching you, but when you guys do CSS, you see importance of styling. But let's just say you want to just make your image look nice and shapy in your website. In this case now it shrinked because I made the height longer and the width smaller. You guys are saying if I want, I can now increase the width. Maybe I increase it by vex and say okay, it should be 300 pixels. You see, so I believe you should all understand and able to implement this in some way. Now you guys have held me hostage. Let us move on. Are we ready to move on? Someone raise their hand. Okay, please, person raise their hand should say what they wanted to say. Chioma Emeka.
Good evening. Please,
Evening.
can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. My question is when can I use that dot attributes and the image attributes when writing in HTML? I didn't understand what you said.
Okay, okay. But I have to say something. After this image is sent, until I'm done with links and tables, then you guys will say your questions again, no? Because we are wasting too much time. But let's answer. Chama, yeah, my mom's namesake, so let's answer let's answer your question. So let's go back to the code. Thank God this dot dot girl, this thing is still here. In this case now, I'm saying you are saying the image. Look, I don't know if you came late, but I said image is this image tag is for putting an image in website. As you saw, I put the image and I put this image tag. So this image tag is I'm trying to call an image from a particular location and I'm trying to put it in my web page. This dot dot slash girl is because in this case now I have a folder where I want maybe all the content of my website to be in. If you enter the folder, you will see my HTML document and you probably see an images folder with images. But the problem is that the image I want to call now, I'm saying maybe a scenario where the image that you want to call is outside the folder where your HTML files are. What do you do? Because see, this is the image I want to call and it's outside this folder. So you tell you to first of all come out from this folder because this is where your file is. This is where the code is now. You're telling that code now, come out from this folder, come out from this folder and enter the desktop. Once you enter the desktop, then you now see the girl. So that dot dot thing is saying come out from the folder you are in now and you will see this girl. You see this image. So that is why you are saying come out from the folder and enter girl. Well, that second image was just in the images folder. So I now said enter the image in the images folder and you see the image. You get. If there's any further question, maybe you can ask after the class because we're kind of wasting time, or you can even hit me up personally. I will indicate on the group chat so yeah you guys can identify. But it's not that like it might be too much at this point, but just try it out. Just try it out. That's the thing. Talking too much self is even going to be overwhelming. Just try it out and see. Try and see what the problem is. You get this dot dot is intended to come out from the image folder and you see the image. So I don't know, someone said and asked, is it possible to write something beside the image or make it stay at the middle of the yes. You see, this person is thinking far. That's what we want to see. Yes, you can make it you can center your image. You can write something beside the image. You can make your image in fact be at the corner. Anyhow, those are things, that is what we use CSS for. CSS is for styling your HTML element. You style all the okay, you have an image, you have everything. This HTML is just okay to put all the elements there. If you now want to position it, you want the boundary to be red, you want it to be this, you want it to be wide, you want it to be short, you use CSS. So all those things. So in this case now, I just use a little CSS styling for the first image, and I just said, okay, I want the height to be this, I want the width to be this. If I want, I'll say I want it to be centered. You can even use a center element for that. You can even use a center element. Let me try and see. You guys know my weak points. But yeah, coding is fun, like trying to explore and see. So as you can see, let me show you guys. I put a center. Let's see if it works. This is kind of an ancient way of doing it, but it's a HTML way of centering. It's more advisable to use CSS to center your HTML element. But let's see. So in this case here, I center this in this line. So yeah, you can basically do whatever with your CSS styling. So let us move. Oh, let us move. Let us move. Let us move. Images are seen shaking in our hands. Let's see. It's showing now. So you guys are seeing it, right? Let's go. So now we are going to links. Link is very important because it is something you will always see in your website. Like at least your website cannot just be lonely. It's linking to another place. So HTML links are hyperlinks. You can click on a link and jump to another document. When you move the mouse over the link, the mouse will return to your little hand. As a website user, all these things is something you should know. A link does not have to be a text. It can be another image or another HTML element, but we'll see. Let's go. So syntax. What is syntax? How do you guys even know what syntax? Syntax is like how you use something. If I introduce this particular, I like, oh, do you know that you can make your program sing? I'm like, oh, how? So I'm trying to teach you the syntax of how to do that thing. So now with links, now I'm trying to tell you, okay, I told you, okay, you can put a link in your HTML document, and you're asking how. See, the syntax is how, because I'm teaching you the syntax is like how you do something. What is the context? How do you do it? You get. So the syntax of using this link now is the HTML tag defines a hyperlink. It has the following syntax: a href equals to URL, and you put the link text. So in this case now, you notice the difference between the a tag and the image tag. The a tag is opening and closing. You get. So in this case now, you put, first of all, put your href. Your a tag has a href attribute. That href attribute is just like, where should I go to? If someone clicks the link, where should he go to? So you should go into this, that is the URL. Then link text is whatever is going to be showing there. So the most important attribute of this is the href attribute. You might see other attributes, maybe style or anything, but without the href attribute, the link is not a link, because a link, the basis of a link is that it's taking you somewhere. So it has to take you somewhere. So it's taking you to the destination. The link text is the part that will be visible to the reader. Click on the link text and to send the reader to specify URL address. And I gave a little example here. Like, let's say my website, I want you to go to blockchain UNN website. I'm like, okay, visit blockchain UNN website. This is the user-friendly thing you are seeing. Your own is just to click. Oh, sorry. Your own is just to click. But then once you click this thing, where is it taking you? It's taking you to blockchainunn.org. You get. If I'm wicked, if I like, I can even put the blockchainunn.org for you. But my own is whatever I put here, even if I write here, it would, whatever, when you click that thing, it would take you to this place. So in this case now, when you click it, it will now take you to the blockchain. So let us try. It's not about talking, right? It's not about talking. Let us try it. Now, I now say a link now. Maybe I want link. Sorry, that one is not way to see. So I put a link and I'm putting it now. What is my href? Where do I want you to take you to? Maybe what is even UNN's website? Maybe I want it to be UNN. N. I beg. Let me take you to blockchain websites. Or let me even say UNN website. What's UNN's website? Maybe we are UNN students. And maybe I want you to take you to the portal. So I want this link to take you to UNN portal. I'm like, okay, visit your portal now. This is the text that will show. So this is our place where we're experimenting, right? Anything you do will show here. Visit your portal now. Can you see? This is visit your portal. Are you seeing anything like UNN or portal? No, you're not seeing anything. But what you're saying is visit your portal now. Once I click it, this down place here is now showing that once I click it, it will take me to UNN portal. So once I click it, it will now take me to UNN portal. If I don't want this thing to be like doing it that it will come and be removing from my page, I can say target and to be like target blank. Let me do that. Target blank. So I want it to open another this. I don't want it to be interrupting. Maybe I don't want my user to be leaving my website. I want my users to be in the web app, but to open another tab. So I say visit. Let's refresh. So visit your portal now. Once you click it, it will open another tab, and my tab is still there. You get, because your user can be redirected when you're clicking a lot of links and it's overlapping on top of it, and they even forget that, oh, they were even on your website. So maybe you wanted that your website should be there, and it opens another tab, and this thing. So yeah. Now let us move. I believe you understand this concept somehow. It's a relatively easy concept to grasp. So let's move. Now, types of URL. As you know, I can easily put any random URL, and I can put a URL going to another document of mine. Maybe I'm doing a portfolio website and I want it to be like, okay, this is the main website. We're like, okay, I'm a backend developer, I'm good in PHP, blah blah blah. And I'm like, okay, contact me. I want to take you to a contact me page. The contact me page is not hosted now, so it is still a local page. So in this case now, it is not an absolute URL where it's already hosted, like established. Sorry. It's not an absolute URL where it's already established. It is still a local page, so it should just take you to that HTML document, or that document in particular. Let's try. It's good to try things. So this is our folder, Abby. We now come. Oh, let me even create it here, sir. So I want to say that maybe I want it to be in contacts.html. Let's set up, maybe I say contacts. Yeah, I know what P is. P is just like writing a sentence or a paragraph. So let's say this is my contacts, and I write random numbers or something. So I'll now go back. Okay, let's go back to my main page. I should have even named this index, but anyhow, let's go back to my main page, and I'm like, okay, oh, contact me. What do you think I'm going to write here? I'm going to write contacts.html. Why? Because as I said earlier with this directory thing, it is in the same directory with your practice. So you are not, just imagine what I was telling you about this source directory. Imagine with href. If something is outside, you put the folder. Exactly what I was telling you is the way you put the location of your folder, of your file here. So you have put the location of your file. I think the difference is that this one is already an established. This is a local file. So here you're calling this a relative URL. So it's relative to your file. What is an absolute URL? Because it's hosted somewhere. It's not even relating to anything you are doing. Now, when I say, okay, contact me now. So let's go to our this thing now and see if it's working. You see, this is another link now. You guys can see, contact me now. You click on the link to now take you. This is my contacts. We're all seeing back. So this is a very good way you can be able to link pages. So I hope ideas are coming to your head. Like, hope you are already planning to make one website and like, link multiple pages. Because let me tell you guys, like when I was being taught this thing, but I made a whole HTML website, like a whole mini portfolio HTML website. It was HTML, it was so horrible. Like, just I didn't have access to it. I'll have shown you guys. Like, it was so, but I was really feeling it. Like I was linking pages, really feeling like yes, I'm practicing. So I want you guys to make sure that you really apply these things, so because that's the way to really stick into your head to become part of you. So yeah, you guys can see. So that's basically just the concept of that. So it's nothing really complex, nothing like nothing too big. Let's move. Remember we said you can use an image as a link. You can use an image as a link. You can use many HTML elements actually, but I will let you explore that on your own. But you can use an image as a link. So let's go. So to use an image as a link, just put the image tag inside the A tag. Put the image tag inside A tag. So let's say I want this thing to be a link. Maybe when you click on it, maybe you are building an e-commerce website where you are selling things, and you want when the person clicks on the bag, it will now take them to maybe a page where they will really see the bag very well. You can do it. So it's nothing too, if you see a website, like, oh, it's nothing too complex, I promise you. So let's try it. Let's try it. So let's say I still want it to be this girl, like, yeah. I'll now be like, this girl smiling, sure. I want her to be a link. So let's copy this image now. I want her to be a link. I want this girl smiling to take to my contacts page. This is what I'll do exactly as you see it. Is exactly how I'll do it. I put the image inside my A system, and it's basically exactly how you know that once you click on that this thing on that text, it will take you to the A. That is the same way once you click on this image, it will take you to the A. Let's try it. So let's go back to our main page now. So this is the link. This is the image you are seeing. Oh. You see, okay. This is the image you are seeing, but once I click on this image, it take me to contacts. It's like network is okay. So once I click on that image, take me to the contacts. Hope we are following. Let me do it again. Network is okay. It was faster. Click on the image, it takes to contacts. This image is that image is a link. This one is not a link, as you can see. As I'm even hovering, there's no distance. It's a normal image, but this is a link. Hope you understand that concept. So this is our code again. If you want to check, and leave this so you can see. So let's go to another thing. So yeah, you can experiment. Don't be scared. You can experiment to see other elements you can actually use as a link. Highest maybe doesn't work. That's the highest thing. And like, you experiment and your computer blows up. So don't be scared to actually experiment with all this. Now, did you know that in HTML we have a fascinating capability to create internal links that can smoothly navigate user? I'm not going to test this out. I want you guys to test it out on your own. But this is the block of code though. You can create internal links that can smoothly navigate users to specific sections within the same page. Let's say you are maybe doing a blog or something and there is so many, like your one web page is so long, and someone is now trying to find a particular section, maybe where you talked about how this president is really suffering us. You want the person to go back to that place. You just come href, you use it as a link. So as you can see now, sorry, you can see now that this is the, I don't even know if you guys can see. You can zoom into the screenshot, so if you cannot really see it, but I guess you guys can see it well. But this is the h1 element, and this is the p, and I put click here. I want, once someone clicks on this here, it would show them section 2. So click here to jump to section 2. So now, how, as you can see, the link is hashtag section 2. That hashtag is kind of like saying that you should go to a place where the ID is section 2. ID is under attributes for, like, maybe saying that, okay, this is a particular element I want. No two elements can have an ID, just like everyone has their unique student ID or something. So no two elements can have an ID. So I want this link to take me to take the user to an element with the ID of section 2. That's why you see href equals to hashtag section 2. So it will now go to that place section 2 and be like, okay, this is the context. The same thing with this one too. Maybe we could actually try it, but just that we don't have too much long distance. So let's see. Can try it. So let me say, and I now say it should take to, or let me put, maybe I'll put here, I want this thing to have hashtag. I want this thing to have an ID of, okay, that's even, imagine. I want it to have an ID of maybe image link. I don't know. So I'll now come. I'll still explain. Let me show yourself. You guys will excuse me. Sorry, there's something wrong. So I have to literally. I need to do something. So I come here and I want it to be hashtag. I want it to go to this particular um element here. I want it to go to particular element. So I put that my href should be hashtag image link. That means it should go to the particular HTML element with the ID of image link. You get. So once someone clicks on this thing, maybe I'm like click here or something, click. So once someone clicks on this thing, you take them to this place. So let's try out. Okay, once you click on this, it take you here. It's just that, as I said earlier, this thing is not that it's moving, sha. But just imagine maybe your web page is so long, like you're writing a lot of things, and then you want the user to be able to easily navigate to different sections. So once I click here now, it's taking me to this image link. You guys are getting it back. So that's basically a fun fact, maybe just something you can apply to your daily life. So let's move. I'll take questions after tables though. It's not me who are going to hold. So let's move though. Okay, someone said you guys are not all UNN students. Okay, sorry, but majority blockchain is hosted in UNN, so it's UNN we know. But we welcome non-UNN students. You guys are welcome. There's no discrimination. So we go next to tables in HTML. This might be kind of new, like how to use tables. New to some of us here, but let's go with it though. So tables allow web developers to arrange data in rows and columns. They allow you as a web developer to arrange your data in rows and columns. Maybe there's something you just want to put a table, you get. Sometimes you just feel like putting a table. If there's any need for putting a table, let's show you how to do it. So now this is the example code for putting a table. I'll explain, don't worry. But I just want you guys to see. You have the table, and table this thing, most of all this table, the elements you use for tables, they are opening and closing. So it's not like the only thing you think about that is clothing for today's lesson is image. But as for links and table elements, they're opening and closing. So as you can see, table, so it's showing that everything that's inside here is the table. Then TR is saying table row. So this is a table row. So you can see company, contact, country. That is the first table row. The second table row is saying these two names, and third table row is saying these two names. And you see that there's a difference between this and this. This is TH and this is TD, saying that this is the header. So the header of this table row, that's showing that this is a table row, but the elements in this table row are headers. So it's company, contact, country. So it's to give more emphasis to this. You guys are saying. So yeah, table cells, the syntax of how to use it is table cells. Each table cell is defined by a TD and a closing TD tag. Everything between TD are the content of the table cell. So everything I put inside this TD is the content. So this first table cell now has this as the contents. Now, table rows. Table rows. For table rows, we can see that each table row starts with a TR and ends with a TR. As you can see, this is saying that this is one table row. So for this table row now, like let's say we have we can decide we want 100 rows or 50 rows or whatever. You have to be putting this TR for the total amount of rows you want to get. So it's just saying that the amount of elements I put in this table row is what will show there. Like in this case now, I put three elements for each table row, and it showed that okay, this is a table row and these are the elements in arranging. It might sound confusing a bit, but you might have to like practice for a while before you really like. You might not have to practice for a long while, but when you practice it, you actually really understand. Okay, you get. Then table headers is just basically, saying that this particular table cell is a header, the header cell. So let's try to work with this. Let's try to work with something. Let's try. Let's not be boring talkatives. I'm just going to do one instance. You guys can work on the rest. So the first thing you do when you want to create a table is you put your table elements. That is opening and closing. So we have laid the foundation. We're trying to do a table. Now the next thing, let's say I want to say table names of let me say self. Maybe your name and your score or something. So I'll put a table row. My first table row will be the header table row. And because it's the header table row, I will use TH instead of TD. So it will be TH and it will be name. Then the second column I want is maybe score or something. So your name and your score. I'm trying to put that table in my website now. So this first table row is a header table row saying name and score, as you can see. Now let's go to the second table row. The second table row will probably be where we start imputing our values. So now, because it's not a header table row, we use TD instead. So table data, maybe I want it to be first name to be Solo and score to be. So you put it according, like now, because it's name and score, that means the first one should be the name, the second one should be the score again. So name and then the score of this person, maybe 100 or something. So now we are done with this table row, because there are two columns, so there will be two, two like that, because there are two columns at first. If I put three, then I'll have to be putting three values of each column. So now maybe I want it to be another person again, Margaret or something. I don't know how to spell it. Oh, sorry, I forgot to put my TD. Maybe Maria. And she scored 70. Let's look at it first of all and see how this is going. How is this code going? How is it even looking like first? Because as you code, try to be looking at what you're even doing. Because if you type all the things you want to type in this world and it doesn't work. Can you guys see? It's looking like in the form of a table right now somehow. It's kind of giving a form of a table. I don't know if you guys can see it, so maybe I should zoom in more. But it's down here. So now in a case where you want borders, this table now by default doesn't come with borders. But if you want to come, you said what's my name? My name is Victoria Ofuasia, you still see. But if you want your table now to have borders, you can now put, okay, styling. I want it to have a border. I want this to be the thickness of the border. I want the background of my table to be red. I want it to be in the middle. I want it to be fat. Anyhow you want it. But just know that this is the table. Are you guys seeing it? And because I put TD for this because I put TH, sorry, for this name and score, that is why it emphasizes that this is the header. I can decide to put more this thing. I can even copy this and duplicate it if I want. Let's see. You guys are saying. Yeah, you see, this Decora person is really like thinking. You can put images, you can put images. You see, so I'm not going to come and start showing you all the million things you can do, but you will explore. You can put link, you can put image. You get, you can just know that these are just basic things. HTML is providing you with the basic tools, so it's for you to now know how to build upon those tools and use it to do what you want to do. You can decide you don't want your table to have border. You can tell you want it to have border. You can decide you want it to be looking like you want in Microsoft Excel. Anyhow you want it. You can decide you want each table cell to have border. You don't want the original or the whole table to have border. Anyhow you want it. So let's even try. Okay, let's say I want the table, this thing, the width to be 100%, so that it will really spread. So I can put inline styling now. With 100% is just like the percentage of the, you can either, your width can be in pixels or it can be in percentage. So it's like saying 100% is like saying, okay, I want it to be 100% of my web page. So you guys are saying now it's now 100%, like it's in the whole, spread out more. So this is just premature. Do not be afraid to style. Do not be afraid to move. Do not be afraid to shift your thing. It's your website. It's your web page. It's your laptop. In fact, this whole thing is free. It's not as if you say you should pay. This is free. So do not be afraid to work with it so that you can get better with time. So let's move, people. So We can start tables to our likings to using the star attribute. Feel free to explore. As that person said, he even went ahead of me. You can use put images, links, other data items in table cells. Don't be scared to try it out. So let's go. So if there are any general questions, you can ask. So, but let's be going. You can put in the comments. I hope we all learned a thing or to our images. People already touched this, and I expanded more. Hope we also learned about links. At least after this class, you don't have a problem with these two things. And tables. Tables might be seem a little bit complex right now, but I just go and try it. Like, just go and try something. See what's wrong. And an important thing everybody should know, there is Google. Like, it is open. You can browse. You can check. You can ask. There are even communities. You can, okay, I'm trying to do this thing. It's not working. How do I do it? People are here to help you. So do not be scared to try. Even if you fail, you learn from that mistake. So yeah, you need practice. That's the thing. You might, just like they are teaching you in school, and maybe you are understanding, but it's a bit complex or it's complicated and it's bulky. You need to go rest and then go back to that thing and really, try to understand what the person is even saying. So yeah, practice, practice. I've been singing practice, 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 practice. If possible, write it on your wall. Practice. I need to practice today. 30 minutes. Even if you are so busy, 30 minutes, 20 minutes. Open your laptop. Try something out. If you are learning something online, try it out. Practice it. Programming is not one of those theoretical subjects. I promise you. Questions. Drop your questions in the comment box. Drop your questions in the comment. What don't you understand? Even if you don't feel like dropping in the comment box, you can still text me, and then I would put you through. Assignments, it will be communicated to you, but don't worry, something you can do. But just know that there will be assignment. But as far as like you practice and you understand something from this, I don't think I'm not going to come and give you one assignment from the sky. It's still something within what we have done for today. So don't worry, something you can do. Thank you very much, everybody. So if you have any further questions, this is my email. My LinkedIn is Victoria Ofuasia. You can go there, you can connect to me, you can text me. This is my WhatsApp number. I'll still indicate though on the chat, but this is my WhatsApp number. Don't be afraid. Yeah. See my WhatsApp number on the screen now. Who's that person still asking? Copy it down. I will indicate on the group chat here on the chat, so I will indicate that I am Victoria. So that's my WhatsApp number, that's my email, that's my LinkedIn. I hope you all understood. Like, this was a roller coaster of a class. Remain small. I was already getting frustrated, like with the network and the opening issues, but thank God we pulled through. Kudos to everybody that is still here. You guys are the real MVPs, right? But don't worry, we're still going to have more sessions together. So thank you very much. If you have any question, now is the time. Oh, at least if you not drop it now, if it's something you can drop now, drop now. Unless it's something more complicated. So I hope everybody enjoys this class. So like I put in a lot of effort. So I'll not be happy if someone come and tell me, oh, I didn't understand. I will not be happy because I broke everything down. Yeah. So thank you everybody. If that's all, then I guess that's all. I don't know who's here to take over. Is it the Shedrack? So yeah. So that's it. Thank you very much, everybody. Someone asked what's my name. My name is Victoria Ofuasia or Soluchi. So yeah, I am done. You guys can also, one thing people should remember is don't be afraid to connect or connect with each other because you don't know what the future holds. So connect.
Victor,
Try
I
to
have a
even build
question.
group
Not
projects.
just I have something I've been for a while.
That try to build group projects, try to connect, try to make friends. At least now that you are still struggling, to be easier. At least nobody will be doing guy like, oh, I'm busy. Now is the time everybody should grow together. So don't worry, it might not be a very easy journey, but it's something very doable. Thank you.
So, hello guys. How do we connect with each other now?